So guess what? I tried to replicate Harmony Bloom inside of Bitwig Studio, and I've kind of succeeded. There are some differences here and there, but I want to give you a quick introduction to Harmony Bloom, what it does. It's kind of an polyrhythm, generator. It generates notes, and we can define here how many notes we want to generate. Here in this case, 5 notes. We can define the node length for each of these dots. So each of these dots is basically a node. Then we have a loop length. That's basically the length or the time between one circle is complete. So I can hit play here, right? And we can change the loop length. So maybe 2 bars, right? And then it takes longer to complete one cycle. We can also change the probability, so each node gets a different probability to be played. So sometimes some of these nodes are missing and so on. Then we have on the left side here something like offset. So we can offset these nodes in terms of position inside of the pattern. So we can say here, let's put each of these nodes in a different position inside of this pattern. So we get some kind of polyrhythms this way. Maybe I have to switch here to the first track so we can hear it. Right, so we get these nice little patterns. We can also, instead of using here a free offset, we can use a quantized offset. So we can say each node is a quarter node, offset inside of this sequence. Then we also have a speed offset, which means each node plays at a different speed, or generally spoken, it's more like each node has a different sequence length. So it needs a different time to complete here a full circle. It looks like this. You can see each dot plays at a different speed. Yeah, and with this kind of these kind of settings, you can create nice little harmonic polyrhythms. Maybe we use here something like this. It looks visually pleasing and it sounds very nice. We can also define here a node collection. So each of these nodes is then in a scale. We can also use here node inputs. We can use chords or multiple nodes as an input and then spread these out over all these dots or all these nodes in the sequence. There's also your scaling option in there and a lot of different stuff here down here. But I think we can replicate this kind of behavior just fine inside of the grid. And I want to show you this. So this was here the first track. This is actually Harmony Bloom. And I go now here to the second track, which uses my preset called Harmony Boom. It looks like this. It's fairly simple. It doesn't replicate this to 100%. For instance, one difference is here you can generate here up to 82 nodes, and in here you can only generate 16 nodes. But it's okay in most cases, I think. So let's put this back here, and that's 1 bar. So this fits in sound, even these visuals here at the moment. So now what we can do is we can say, let's put this away. We can offset these nodes, right? We can say each of these nodes has a different position inside of the sequence. And at the moment we generate 16 nodes because we use voice stacking for this. And we use here basically the note of C3. So when you use another note, for instance here D sharp, then we start on a different note, and then there's here this voice pitch spread, which kind of spreads out the pitch upwards, right? So if you put this at 0, then we only use here this one note. And then you can slowly increase the pitch and generate more notes above this root note here. And inside here of this patch, we can use then, of course, a pitch quantizer and can dial in the different notes we want to use. We can also, instead of using this here, we can go into here, this note clip, and can define some notes. Something like this, and then use quad here, this button, right? And then it uses only these notes. So this is also possible if you want to use that. Then we use here the note offset completely free, right? So it's not like quantized to the rhythm. So we can use here this quantize button, and then everything is synchronized to a 16 note pattern or 16 note sequence or clock. We can also change here the pattern length, how long it takes for one sequence to complete. So here this is 2 bars, or we can say quarter notes or whatever you want to use. So the rhythm is more spread out than in terms of timing. We also have probabilities. We can bring this down. So each note has now probability of 30% to be played. Or probability 100%. You can also change the note length here, and there's a speed offset. So each note plays at a different speed. It's not really a speed setting. I'm changing here basically the length here, right? So we spread this out then, and each note has a different pattern length. But it has the same effect. I mean, it's the same thing. Slowing down or changing the pattern length is more or less the same. So note offset is basically here this parameter, frequency offset. Quantized offset is not in here, but you can use the quantize button and then quantize everything here to a 16 note grid. You can also change this in here if you want to go up to, I don't know, 32 notes or slower. So instead of using here this quantized thing, I'm just using a clock quantizer for that, which makes it easier to use, I think, in here. Then we have here, instead of note collection, you can use the notes inside of the note clip and then use this pitch spread here. And this pitch spread spreads basically out here the root note up to 36 semitones above. So each of these 16 notes is then a note between the root note and an octave or 2 octaves higher or 3 octaves higher. Then here there's the length of the pattern in itself. That's basically here the loop length. The note length is the duration. The number of notes inside of note bloom is basically the voice stacking. Probability is this one here. We have the note length. Where's that? Doesn't matter. So you can change the note length. Number of notes, as I said, is limited to 16 notes because it uses voice stacking here. But you can stack multiple of these harmony boom presets on top if you want to, and then, you know, create multiples of these 16 notes if you want to. Note collection here works basically here with the pitch quantizer, and you can then use here also this one. This is called input notes. Yeah, you can use this here with the use chords thing. So it's kind of the same thing. It just misses, you know, the beautiful visualizer here. And yes, some of the features are a bit limited, but it kind of works in the same way, right? So this one here is also on my Patreon. It's, I don't know if I put it out for free, or it's actually in the lowest tier. So if you have, you know, $1, so you can download this on my Patreon probably. Okay, that's it. That's how it works. And if you have some questions, leave it in the comments down below. Leave me a like, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.